Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we're going to be looking at a puzzle by a new setter called Kitten today, who's been watching the channel for a while and enjoying it, decided to turn their hand to setting, and this is the result, a puzzle called Brackets. You can just plunge into it with the rules you'd expect if you want. I will go through those rules again in a minute, but don't forget that on Patreon we've got the Lines and Shapes Sudoku hunt, which has still got a few days left before the 20th, the deadline, and yeah, that is coming up soon. So do join us on Patreon if you haven't already. Do have a go at the puzzle if you can. Now I'm going to do a quick birthday shout out actually to 11 Shadow Snake's brother, who posted a comment on a video a few days ago saying that tomorrow is his brother's 24th. He's a big fan and the reason that Shadow Snake started watching our amazing videos. I wish you happy birthday, Shadow Snake's brother, but it might have helped if your brother had told us your name. And that birthday is probably when you'll see this video, if you see it at all. Happy birthday to you. But we've also, of course, there's our apps. You can check those out on the links under the video, along with Sven's SUDOKU pad and our merchandise. But the first link is to this puzzle by Kitten, so I'm going to have a go at it. It's called Brackets. I guess these look like, well, I suppose they look like pointy and square brackets on a keyboard. I was wondering if it was more about brackets in a knockout competition like March Madness or something. Anyway. Here we go. Let's do the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits along an arrow, sum to the numbers in that circle. So those 3 will add up to that, and those 3 will add up to that. Don't try and add up all of those 5 to make that cell, or you will fail. Adjacent cells separated by a black dot have values in the ratio 1 to 2. So 1 is double the other. And on the indicated blue diagonal, oh, nearly got it, no, there are no repeats. So that's a set of the 9 digits, 1 to 9. Give it a try. I'm going to restart my clock now. Let's get cracking. So, black dots, 2 of them in this box, but I think that's not enough to go on. Not even combined with the diagonal lines. So we're going to have to look at the brackets, at the arrows. Yeah, and there's a lot of equivalence going on. So for those 3 and those 3 both to add up to that, these 2 add up to the same as those 2. And these have to add up to at least 5 each, because the minimum sum for 4 different digits is 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, that can't be what happens, can it? Because then the next lowest digit that would go here would be a 5. Right. We cannot have a 5 counting twice on these arrows, or they've got to add up to at least 20. And even if you divide that by 2, this is not a Sudoku digit. Okay, that's interesting. So this confluence of these 2 rivers is where we have the most pressure. This has to be lower than 5. If that was a 4, we'd have 8 plus a minimum 1, 2, 3, 5, 19. That's too many. This is 1, 2, or 3. That must apply in box 7 as well. Now, yeah, it's the same. Is it the same here? No, there's only 4 cells on the arrows. Here there are 5 though, so it's the same here. That is 1, 2, or 3. And if one of them was I mean, they could all be the same in this puzzle. If one of them was a 3, the arrows would have to be 1, 2, 4, and 5, and you'd have 9 here. Now, if one of them's a 1, which is the smallest digit being doubled, the minimum value for these cells, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they add up to 14, plus the doubled 1 is 16. So all of these circles in these things that we've done so far are 8 or 9. I've only just realized this is totally different. This has got 2 circles and 1 arrow tip. There's far less pressure on this bracket than on the others. I think. Yeah, there is. I don't know. They've got a common part there. Anyway, we've got 8 or 9 in these circles. And it could only be 8 if we had a doubled 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, which would add up to 16. If we had a doubled 2 and the minimum even 1, 3, 4, 5, just going to prove this in my head. Oh, yeah, that adds up to 17, which is too much to have 8 here. So if we had an 8 in one of these cells, we would have a 1, and we would also know about 2, 3, 4, 5 in the box. Now let's colour this 8 or 9. We're going to colour it orange, because where does that digit go in this box? Oh, this is nice. Okay, I like this. No, let's start here. Let's colour that one green. Where does green 8 or 9 go in this box? This is nice. It doesn't go in those cells by Sudoku. It can't go on its own arrow, which has more than one cell. So it goes in one of those two. And now this is the other colour of 8 or 9. Oh, this is lovely. Right, where does this go in this box? Not in any of those cells, so it's in one of those two. And this must be the other flavour of 8 or 9, i.e. the green one again. Now, where's green in row 5? It can't be here or here because they're going to add 2 more cells on an arrow to get to the total. So, that is green there. I don't think we can do much with orange in rows 5 and 6. I'm not seeing how it's eliminated much there. Or in box 3. Now in box 9, yes we can. Orange can't be here or here because of the arrow adding up problem, so it's in one of those 2 cells. Now, I'm not going to ask where are orange or green up here. They can't be there. But I am going to ask where is 9. 9 must be in one of those cells because it is orange or green. And that can't be there. 9 can also not be on a black dot. So 9 goes on one of those 2. And then in this box, 9 now can't be here. It won't be on an arrow. It has to be in one of those. And this disambiguates green and orange. Isn't that pretty? That is really elegant setting, kitten. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, I like that. Now, 9 in this box now can't be in those places by Sudoku. It's not going to be on one of those arrows. It's in one of these 2 cells in a circle. And then 9 in row 8 can't be here, and it is orange, so it's here. I don't know, the colouring is clearly not really necessary anymore, but it's done me favours, so I'm not going to take it out just yet. I think we will do soon. Now, every time we had an 8, didn't we have to have a 1 here? We did, an 8 or a 7 in fact, but when we have an 8, we have to have a 1 here. That might still be a 2 or a 3, so we'll tread carefully with that one. But these ones have a 1 here, so 8 is 16 for the total of the 2 arrows. We subtract 2 because that arrow, this 1 cell, is counting twice, and these others have to add up to 16. 2, 3, no, they have to add up to 14. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what they are. Gosh, I've had enough this week of doing maths wrong. Anyway, this is now 6 or 7. These include an 8. What about up here? 8 is in one of those 2 cells. Okay, 8 is now definitely on one of these black dots because those positions for 8 mean it can't be there. That position for 8 means it can't be there. I'm getting interested in the diagonal now. 8 is on one of the black dots. It's clearly with a 4. And that 4 is going to form an X-wing with 4s in box 2. There's going to be a 4 used up in box 1 and a 4 in box 2. That's going to use up the 4s in rows 1 and 2. The row 3, 4 is in box 3. And this now doesn't have an 8 or a 4 on it. This black dot is either 1, 2 or 3, 6. Now, the diagonal's interesting because where can 8 go on the marked diagonal? There is possible. It's not allowed in these cells because it's got to be on a black dot. And there is possible. Ah, actually this is still possible too. No, it's not, because there's an 8 in one of those cells. So it's definitely in a corner. I wish I could use that, because it's quite interesting. But I can't. Right. Now, 4 and 8 are there. Oh, look, 1 can't be in any of those cells either, thanks to the ones we've got in the grid. We've only got 2 of them, but they're working very nicely. So, 1 has to be on a black dot. And these black dots are now going to be 1, 2, 4, and 8 in this box. So these cells are from 3, 5, 6, and 7, and form a quad with that one. And this is a 2, 4 pair. This is a nice puzzle. That's official now. Right. Now, there's a 2 X-wing. 1, 2, 4, 8 there, and 2 in those cells means 2's in one of these. And now this can't be a 1, 2 black dot. It's definitely a 3, 6. That is not a 3. Now, I think there are options. If that's a 2, we'll be able to know what these are. But if that's a 1, there's probably 2 ways to fill these. So 9 means the arrows add up to 18. If we take out a double 2, then we've only got 14 left. They would have to be 1, 3, 4, 5. But if, and then that would be a 6, 7, 9 triple. If, however, this is a 1, doubled 1 taken out from the total of 18 leaves 16 for these cells, not using a 1. And I reckon they could be 2, 3, 4, 7 or 2, 3, 5, 6. So there's quite a bit of optionality. Let's have a look at box 8. Because I saw a moment ago that 1 can't be in any of those cells. It clearly can't be in a circle. It must be in one of those 2. That doesn't really do a lot. 8 is definitely in one of those 2. So 8 can't be in any of those. 8 can't go on an arrow, so this is a 9, 8 pair. Now, 8 in this box is in one of those 2 cells because it's up there, it's down there. It's got to be in one of those 2. The significance of that is it's now not in the corner. I should have spotted that from the 9, 8 pair. It's got to go in this corner. That's where 8 is on the diagonal. So we get a 4 next to it and a 2, 1 pair looking at this pair. So no 2 there, no 4 here. I've just introduced an impossible digit by fat fingerness. This is now a 2, 3, 4, it's always been a 2, 3, 4, 5 set. But they add up to 8 along the arrow. So that, with a 2 on that set, we need the 5. And this is a 1, this is a 1, 3, 4 arrow. Yeah, that's okay. So we're good there. Now, this doesn't have a 1 or an 8 on it, this black dot. So it could be 2, 4, or it could be 3, 6. Let's put the candidates in. Not sure. Now, 9's in one of those. Ooh, can I... Wondering about 9 on the diagonal, since it's not on this bit of the diagonal. 9's in one of those cells. 9's definitely in there, so it's not there. So 9 on the diagonal is in one of those 3 spots. But 9 up here is in one of those 2 cells, so it's not there. So 9 is in one of those 2 spots on the diagonal. I don't know how to tell which one. I think I've got to do more work with this arrow. Maybe more with this. Okay, no, let's look at this, because 4 can't be in those. Now, I've learned that on the 8 arrow, 4 always goes with 3. So if 3 is in one of those 2, well, if 4 is in one of those 2 cells, it's going with a 3 in one of those 2, so it's not up here. So there is a 3 in one of these 2, and that fixes the 6, 3 on the black dot. That can't be 3, that can't be 6. Can't imagine that helps me much yet. We've got, well, there's an 8 in one of those cells, so one of these is an 8. 3, 6, 2, 4, 8. 1 is up the side somewhere, so is 9. So these are going with either 5 or 7, this 2 and 4. And whichever of 5 or 7 they go with is going to have to go in one of these cells. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to colour. Although I've got almost nothing going in 5s and 7s, I'm going to colour for 5s and 7s. I'm going to make a yellow 5 or 7 in one of those cells, and therefore in one of these. Oh no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. There can't be a 5 in one of these, because there's a 5 in one of these. Sorry, it's not 7 and 6 we're missing up here. Ah, rats. Okay, what do I need to do next then? Do I need to think about these? These add up to 17, counting these two twice. The minimum they can be at the moment is a 2-3 pair. 2-3 there, 1-4 there would add up to 15. Oh well, there's not a lot of degrees of freedom. So I think this has to be either a 2-3 or a 2-4 pair. If this pair added up to 7, and you double it, oh no, then you could still put 1-2 there. If that was a 3-4 pair, you could put 1-2 there and get to the right totals. That's very surprising. Okay, so what digits have to be in these cells? Because if they add up to 7, that's how it has to be. 1-2 there and a 3-4 pair. If they add up to 6, they are a 2-4 pair. These have to add up to 5. That actually doesn't work, because they would need either a 2 or a 4 in them. So these don't. Now, can they add up to 5? Can they be a 2-3 pair? That would make the total needed here 7, including a 1. So they would be 1-6, 2-3. That would definitely be a 4. Oh, they can't be 1-6. Oh, no, it would, yes, sorry, I have the 1 there. That would be 2-3 with 1-6 there. That's one way to make this work. The other way is 3-4 here, so there's always a 3 in those cells, and 1-2 here. So there's always a 1 in these two. So if it went 3-4-1-2, that would be a 6. If it goes 2-3-1-6, that's a 4. So it's always 6 or 4. This is always 2 or 3 on the diagonal. That's quite hard fought, but I don't actually know what it means. It means 6 isn't on the diagonal. And we discovered 3's definitely in one of these cells. And 1 definitely, we discovered that earlier, that 1's definitely in one of these. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 quintuple. So these are 5 and 7. 7 has to now be in this group of cells. In row 8 for various reasons. Now, if this was 3-4, there'd be a 3-4 pair in the row. And also 1, 6 and 9. These would be from 2, 5, 7 and 8. If, on the other hand, this is a 2-3 pair with a 1, 6 here, that's actually what I looked at a moment ago, isn't it? No, it's 3-4 would have a 1, 2 here. Oh, I got it wrong. 3-4 would make this a 3-4 pair. 1, 2 there. That would have to be 5, 9. This would be 6, 7, 8. And the alternative is 2, 3 there with 1, 6 here. I don't know. I don't know which of the low digits is left over. Okay, I'm going to look at this cell though, because this can't be 9, 8, 6 or 3 according to the column. According to the row, it can't be 1. So it is 2, 4, 5 or 7. There's probably something much easier to do here. Yeah, there is. Look, 8, 8, that's an 8. Honestly, this is either 6 or 7 now, and it's not got a colour. That was quite straightforward. Now I've spotted it. Probably doesn't help a lot. 8, 3, 4, 1, 2. These are from 5, 6, 7, 9. 1 and 3 have to be in these cells. That, if that was a 7, this is an 8, 7 pair. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to look at this arrow. I mean, I got quite far with that arrow, but it didn't quite resolve. The two possibilities both give us different dilemmas on different horns, but here, so if that's a 2, these have to be a 3, 4 and a 1, 6 in some order. Then you've got 9, 7, 5 up here. If that's a 1, this is the one with the options. Well, no, it's not, because 9, a 3-cell combination including a 1, has to be either 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. So this would be 9, 7, 4 in that case. So this is either 9, 7, 4 or 9, 7, 5. 7 is definitely being used there. So this can't be 9, 8 or 7. Oh, it can't be 9. I think I knew that before somehow. Oh, we had 9 in one of those cells, that's all right. But now it can't be 7. Maybe, I don't think 7s are that interesting on this diagonal line yet. I don't know, maybe. One of those has to be a 7. And one of those has to be a 7. Oh, goodness, I'm clearly missing a big implication somewhere from something we've done. Oh, maybe I need to think about the possibilities there. So if that was 6, 3, then we've got 7 and 5 and 2 or 4 here. If that's 4, 2, we've got 3 there and 5, 6 or 7 here. That doesn't work so well. Oh, there's something going on. Come on, Mark. Come on. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 to place here. Right, whichever of 6 or 7 is here. Okay, that's interesting. So let's make that yellow. Whichever of 6 or 7 is there has to be in one of these two cells and is not here. It is there. But if it's 6, it's in one of those. If it's 7, it's there. But this is the other colour of 6 or 7. So we're differentiating 6s and 7s between yellow and purple. And I'm wondering, can that give me anything else? Well, either that's a purple 7 or that's a yellow 7. No, I don't think it does give me anything else. And I kind of looked at this. This is either 3, 5 and 2, 6. I don't know how that helps below. Oh, that can't be a 9. 3, 6, 8. Let's look at this column. Goodness. This can't be a 7 because 7's in the K in the row there. 3, 6, 9, 8, 7. So it's 1, 2, 4 or 5. That really doesn't feel strong. Ah, we're very close to getting through this black dot. This seems to be the symmetry breaker here. Oh no, hang on. 5, 6, 7, 9 are in those cells in this column. Now, I'm interested, because if this is 975, that has to be a 6. If this is 974, that has to be a 2. Not getting anything done, am I? I need one more spot of something. Maybe a spot of scotch would get me going. 1. There's a 1 somewhere in these 3 cells. Where's 1 on the diagonal? Yeah, maybe the diagonal is the thing that I'm just not exploiting. 8, 4, 2, 5, 1, 3, 6, 7, 9. I'm looking up. 1 is definitely in one of those. That's not interesting at all. So is 3. So this is 6, 7, or 9. 3 has to be in one of these 2 cells. So if that was a 3, that would be a 3. That would be a 3. That would be a 3. There'd be a 3 over here. We've obviously got a 3 up there. One of those two is a 3. And there we get stuck. Unless... No, I think we do. Okay, not 3s. It was interesting, but ultimately fruitless. 2 can't be with 5 in this row, or this row, because that would make both of those 3. Does that do anything? If that's a 2, this is a 2, 3, 5, 7 set. And that would have to be 9, and this would be a 1, 8 pair. Okay, yellow was one of 6 or 7. It's in those cells. I've just worked out that purple has to be in one of these, in this box. So it's not there. So purple's in one of those 2. And that means we've had a 6, 7 pair in this row by the time we get through those. Six, 7, 1, 8, 9. So this is 2, 3, 4, or 5. If that's a 6, then this is 1, 2. That's 3, 4. If that's a 6, that's a 7. If that's a 4, then I don't think it's so obvious how these break down. Oh, goodness. Okay, that can't be purple or yellow, so it's not 6 or 7. It is 3 or 5. That is a bit more interesting. Only one of those is yellow. Okay, I keep going on this yellow-purple theme. It might yield something suddenly. There's a 7 up here, so either yellow or purple, and there's 1 on one of these. That is yellow or purple. One of those is purple. Neither of those is... Oh no, I don't know. One that's... No, I don't know. I thought I knew there couldn't be a 6 there for a moment, but I don't know that. Oh, goodness, I cannot see. Oh, there's definitely a 3 in one of those cells. So that's not a 3. That is now 5 or 7. And if it's a 5, it can't go with 2. Because of this pair. If it's a 7, it's yellow. Then 7 is yellow. Then that has to be a 5, and that has to be a 3. Is this the only place for 3 in this column? Look, there's a 5, 6, 7 triple once I got 3 out of there. This is the only place for 3 in the column. Oh, that's probably been available a long old time. Now, 3 is not on the diagonal in that box. It's not there because there's a 3 in one of those. There do still seem to be places available for 3 to be on the diagonal though. We really have got very few actual full digits on the diagonal. That is a nuisance. Where is it 9 can be? I think it's something like here and here. Okay, well at least they both see that cell, so that can't be a 9. That can't be a 9 either. Not sure what that means. It does. I mean, it doesn't really do anything interesting, does it? It's such a shame for me because I was going so well, and I've ground to an absolute shuddering halt where I'm making tiny little micro deductions and not getting anything done. I'm so sorry, kitten. I feel like this is a bad letdown now. Okay, if yellow was 6, it has to be there. Then it's in one of those, and we know it's there. It must then be in one of these. Something might be happening here. Then it must be in one of these. Ah, there'd be an X-wing on 6s then. It would be in one of these two. And where would it be in this box? In one of those. Forcing itself to be with a 2. I don't know. This is close and quite interesting. And okay, the alternative if purple is a 6, then we've got purple there and there. I can't see how one of these is better than the other. There must be a way. There must be a way that either yellow or purple can be divided up, or this 4-2 or 6-3 pair can be resolved. If that's 4-2, that's a 3, and that's a 2. Ah. Nine and 7 are both there, so that's not 9 or 7. What is the missing deduction? 8. Got that 8 X-wing going. 9 doesn't work on an X-wing like that, but 9 can't be in those cells or those. So 9 in this box is definitely in one of those 4. Most of which are not on the diagonal, but annoyingly that one is. 9 is down to those 2 cells in column 3, which keep it off there, but that doesn't actually matter because it couldn't have been on there anyway. In fact, that's probably how we deduced that fact about 9. Oh, it's all about, I don't know, is it all about 7s and 6s or is it something else? What is screaming at us about these brackets? I feel like it's been right there on the edge of my consciousness for ages. This is a puzzle where much more than normal I feel I'm going to kick myself when I get it. And I feel I still might get it. 8, 9, 7. 8 and 7. 8 has to be in one of those two. We've got another X-wing on 8s. 7 though, could that be on the diagonal? That would make this a 5. So if 7 was there, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'd be very definitively finding out if 7 was there. Ah, it's these arrows. It's got to be. So if that's a 2, there's a 3-4 arrow and a 1-6 arrow. Can that really help? I honestly can't see how it does. It would make this a 5-7-9 with a 6 there. That would have to be 1 or 3. And the alternative, if that's a 1, these are 2, 3, 4, 6. That's 5, 7, 9. No, if that's a 1, these are not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are 2, 3, 5, 6. That's 4, 7, 9 then. Then we get a 2 here. And then we've got 1, 3, 5, and 6 to place in the row. It's just not enough information. We're one piece of information short. Hang on. Are these 5 and 4 under some version? So if that's a 4, does that force this? I'm wondering about whether they're going to break up here somehow. Actually, no, they wouldn't, because 4 and 5 have to be in separate arrows up there. So if that's 4, we've got a 2 on the diagonal. That 4 also makes that a 2, 5. So let's focus on where 2s end up now. One of those is a 2, one of those is a 2, one of those is a 2. We've had 2 on the diagonal, so that would have to be a 2. Oh, that's interesting. So a 2 here would put 2 here would force that to be a 1, because it would put 2 there. So it would actually force that to be a 2. Then we'd have 2s in these funky positions. Don't know quite where we got to actually with that. Let me just think about this a bit more. We'd have a 2 there. That was going to be a 2, wasn't it, if this occurred? Yeah, this is interesting. So there's a 2 there. One of those is a 2. That is a 2. So if we have a 2 on the diagonal, that becomes a 2. If we don't, if we have a 3 on the diagonal, then there's a 3 in those cells. 6 here. I don't know, this isn't yielding to me. I cannot see what the effect is and why there's a problem. One of the, it's going to be about one of these failing. One of these 4. Oh, what was it? If that was, yeah, the trouble is if that's a 4, that has an effect here, but if that's a 6, it doesn't. 3, 6, 1. I don't know. What is that digit? What is it doing there? 8. One of those being a 3. My goodness, kitten, you've absolutely foxed me here. This just is not going well now. It started out so well. I was loving my solve of this puzzle, and now I have collapsed into a heap. I suppose 1 has to be in one of those cells in this column. That might end up being interesting somehow. Well, yeah, okay, that would definitely... No, I was going to say we'd know where 1 was on the diagonal, but I don't think I do at all. 1 has to be in one of those 3 cells on the diagonal. I don't know. I cannot find my way through this. If that's not a 1, then 1's in one of these and one of those and has to be there. One of the ways works and one doesn't, and I can't work out which it is, and it is incredibly frustrating. Just stuck. This is not what you want to see when you tune into this channel, me not knowing how to solve the puzzle. 5 has to be in one of those cells in this box, so it's not there on the silly diagonal. But it could be here. Okay, if that's a 5, then one of those is a 5. One of these is a 5. I don't see how that helps anything. Okay, let's try another tack. If that's a 7, then that can't be 7. So we've now got a 7-8 pair down here. One, two, three, four, five, six. It's just, there's so little information about these bits of the diagonal. That 5 or 7. Well, no, if it's a 7, it's in these cells. So if yellow's a 7, one of those, yellow is there. So these don't have yellow in. So yellow in this column is in one of those 2, but it's 6 or 7. So it has to be in one of these 3. What does that mean? Okay, these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. So there is a quad here. And these are 2, 4, and 5. I mean, that's been available forever. These are from 1, 7, 8, and 9. But we know 8's in row 2, so it's not up there. Bit of crazy pencil marking. Okay, so 7 is in one of those cells. No, 8 is in one of those. Yeah, we know that. 7 is in one of those cells, and one of these 3, and one of these 3. So 7 is either there or there. But that doesn't tell me anything new. Goodness gracious. 2, 3, and 6. Okay, if that's a 1, these pairs are 2, 6, and 5, 3. And in either case, 2 and 3 will be used up in those 3. If that's a 2, one of them is 1, 6, the other is 3, 5. If the 3, 5 went here, 2 and 3 would be used up. But if the 1, 6 was on this side, then you've still got license for one single roving 2 or 3 to be outside that group and therefore in one of these. Okay, I'm going to look at these cells again. Maybe all of the combinations of those take out 2 and 4 from here. So if this is 3, 4, that's a 1, 2 pair. So yeah, we would have a 1, 2 pair there and a 3, 4 pair here, and that couldn't be 2 or 4. That's one way of getting 2 and 4 out of there. The alternative, if this is a 2, 3 pair, that is a 1, 6. This feels a lot less certain to yield anything good. This is a 1 and 6. Then, how could this be a 2? If that was 5, this was 4, this was 3. I can't rule it out. It's still possible. It's so confusing that I cannot finish this puzzle. 9 is in one of those cells in box 4. 9 on the diagonal. We know it's either there or there. If it's there, we get a 9 here. Then that has to be, well, that has to be either 6 or 2 if that's a 9. I don't see how that breaks me down in any way. Let's look at this 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 quintuple. See if there's something going on there. 5s seem to have 3 possible spots. 4s have loads, as do 2s. I just can't see this. Right, what would go wrong if that was 1, 6? These would both be from 7, 8, 9. That would be a 1. 1 would be off the diagonal in boxes 1 and 9. 1 would have to be in one of those 2 cells. Good grief, I cannot see this at all. There must be a way through this puzzle, and I don't know what it is, and I really think I'm about to throw in the towel unless it suddenly pops out at me now. There's nothing much I can do here. I've looked at every possibility in every way. If that was a 2, that's a 3. I mean, this isn't going to be no good, because even if I remove 2 from there, it doesn't advance me. So think about it as if that's a 3. Then we have a 6 here. Now, that does fix this whole hash. That's a 1, 2 pair then. So if that's a 3, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that's a 3, this is 6, 7, 8. Then the remaining cells in the box are 1, 2, 4, and 5. Well, yeah, you see, that is interesting. So that couldn't be 1, 2, 4, or 5. That would be a 7. So if that's a 3, that's a 7, that's a 5. And I mean, that's quite complicated to see, but it is true. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna say this again. If that is a 3, that's a 6. This is a 1, 2 pair. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. And this has to be 7. So if that's a 3, that's a 7. If that's a 2, well, I don't know this is a 7, but I know it's not a 2, so that can never be a 2. That is 4, 5, or 7. How could that really be a 4? Let's think about that. This would be a 3. That would have to be a 2. I am thinking that one of these possibilities never worked. Never worked. How could you have a 6 in either of those positions? This has been hours. What are we? 47 minutes in. I reckon for the last 20 minutes, maybe 25, I have believed you could have a 6 in one of those two cells. But as you can't have a 1 in one of these, what good is a 6 in one of these cells on one of these arrows? They can't make 8 or 9. You can't have a 6 there or there. It's that straightforward. It really was a kick self moment, just as I expected. I mean, that's huge. This has to be where 6 is in the box. I mean, it's just massive. I've done all this effort and work, and I've had to come back to the straightforward bit at the end. Oh, well, at least I didn't quite give up. I mean, I was very, very much on the verge there. Goodness me, I'm so sorry. Right, let's just finish it off if we can now. 1, 4, 5, that is a 7. I mean, it may be that some of the hard work I've done is finally paying off, in a way, with the pencil marks, but I doubt it. 3 and 7 there, that becomes a 5. I mean, I'm glad I did that work. That's a 7, because otherwise that would have taken longer to see. We've got a 6-9 pair there, 7-8 pair here, 6-9 pair up there, which are resolved. That is a 2-5 pair. I bet one of them's on the diagonal already. Yes. And like, just like that, it's all coming together. How? I mean, the trouble is I did holistic maths on this arrow rather than considering the individual bits of the arrow. That was my huge mistake. Oh dear, that has been painful. Painful for you, painful for me, painful for everybody, and probably especially for Kitten, for whom I feel especially sorry. 1-9 there, but I mean, you have the tiny consolation that you utterly defeated me and made me look pretty dense. 8 there, 9 there. Okay, so those arrows work. Now, that is 7 and 8. They are resolved. 1, 6, 7 here. 7 is already on the diagonal. 3, 4, 9 here, and 3 is already on the diagonal. 1, 4, 5 here. 5 is already on the diagonal. So 1, 4, 6, 9 still to go. Okay, that's all right. Can't do those. Didn't expect to be able to do everything immediately. In fact, the progress since that little breakthrough has been far better than I expected. There is a 3 in this pair by Sudoku. Now, if that's a 1, the 3 goes with a 5. Then it would be 5 there and 3 there. If that's a 2, the 3 goes with a 4. And either way, that's a 3, 4, 5 quad, triple quad. And this is a 1 down here. That's on the diagonal. We can finish off the diagonal as a result. 1, 3, 9. So unfortunately, yet again, the only thing I've been able to bring to this puzzle is perseverance, which is a quality, but not really the one we were going for most of the time. That can't be 4, 5 or 9 now because of the 3, 4, 5 triple. That's a 7. Those two aren't. Let's get rid of the corner marks. That's a 9 according to the corner marks. Yes. So that's a 3. That's a 9. That one is a 1 now. 1, I said. That's a 5. This is 4. That feels like we are cracking this now. They are a 1, 7 pair. These are a 6, 7 pair. These are a 3, 9 pair that are resolved. That's better. That is now a 5. So 5, 3, 1 makes up that arrow. 2 and 6 on this side. 7, 6, 7, 1. That's all done. 8, and I mean, it was so... That puzzle had a great flow throughout, and if I had found it, I'd be able to celebrate it better. As it is, took me 52 minutes. You will beat that time. You will today. And you deserve to. Well done, Kitten. That's great. You defeated me, but I got there in the end. Give me a dinosaur and we will move on tomorrow. Thank you for watching. What a terrible solve. Please, nobody compliment the solve except maybe the perseverance. That's all it had. I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll be back for more. Bye now.